Hey guys, this is Draconis making a small update. Well, Draconis' mom making a small update for him. We haven't been on lately because he is going through his let's eat everything we can for brumation phase, and mommy has also been very busy with a few things, which I will actually show y'all in a minute. But this is what's going on. He decided he wanted to sleep on his bridge, but he couldn't sleep without a cover because he was cold. And he needed the cover folded back because he's people. Don't ever tell him he's an animal because he's people. Just look at the little cuteness. All he needs is a little teddy bear. Well, creepy cat's too big to go on the bridge with him while he's sleeping. But a tiny little one of those tiny little teddy bears. Anyways, I will be back momentarily. Okay, this is an update on the nano tank. I finally found a filter that will work with it. That actually looks pretty cool sitting there on the bottom. And the little shrimpies and stuff can actually hide up under it and in these little ceramic tubings. But the water quality has improved, and I just put it in there around 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. And I still have the airflow adjustment. The fish that I put in there to replace the two that had died is still alive. The other one that I put in there because it had a messed up mouth finally kicked the bucket. I knew that it may have kicked the bucket now or later. I just wanted to give it a smaller area to see if it would survive to adulthood. It didn't. Anyways, moving on. This is our large tank. If you can see, there is a nearly pure white baby. That keeps swimming in and out of the shot. And there is a black and white baby in there somewhere. That may be getting a little bit of yellow into it, but it's a little shy. We have pond snails that have been hatching like no tomorrow, and then growing and then making more babies and hatching. There's some Asian trumpet snails. Again, do not release these into a river or pond unless you are actually from Malaysia, where they are native to. You can actually get severely fined, and they're not good for the environment. They're good for a fish tank environment or a closed pond system, but not a pond, lake, or other waterway that is connected to others. Like an artificial pond is a closed pond system. That's the only way you can actually have a closed pond system. They're pretty cool to watch. But this is an example of why we do not release them into the wild here in the States. Although they actually are in the wild here in the States due to the fact that people don't listen. And I think the black and white fish just swam by and out of the shot real quick. That may have been the nearly white one. That may be getting a little bit of color. I can see over the top of it that it might have a tiny bit of yellow. But that's Neville chasing the ladies. And these are our ladies. The one with the darker spot is Draconis. And that's called a gravid spot. Oh, there's our black and white baby. I do not know how these came out of the yellow ones unless they were in with someone that had that genetic anomaly, because they actually came out of Draconis, which is that one right there. I just ran past. Again, we can tell Draconis from Flame because Draconis's Mickey Mouse is more melted, whereas Flame's Mickey Mouse is actually more rounded. And we have, if it's still over here, I do not see it, but we do have what were supposed to be red-footed snails, ram's horn snails, to go with this one because he is a more dark red-footed one. But somewhere they have a genetic anomaly. Here's one. That looks more like an orange footed one. It might be a very light red that is showing off in a shell rather oddly. We have 4 of these that are a pearly white color that have been going at it like crazy with Zippy, which is our original one, which is now trying to climb his silly butt into one of the ceramic tubes, and he will not fit in there. He'll have to back himself out of there, as he just did. But yeah, and we have mossballs, and this one is run on an air-driven filter, just as the small one is, but this air-driven filter is much older and actually does a better job than a lot of the mechanicals. And it's got an air stone. And then we have this miniature tank with an air stone that has a regulation on it. These air stones are actually run off of the same tube going to the same pump valve. I put a T on them. There's a regulation valve right here. And there's a regulation valve right here. Just like the one I put on the other. This one is actually one that came with the tubing kit, and it's only to slightly compress the compress the airflow, or slightly slow down the airflow to the one in their tank, so that this valve will actually work to regulate some airflow to this. If you notice, I have a few trumpet snails in with each of the jars. My daughter's jar also has a few of the pond snails in it. And looping right back to the dragon's tank. Now, there's these jars, which are easier to see when his light is on. The reason why I put this one up here that has the green water, that one back there has more clear water, if you notice it's starting to turn slightly green, is because that side is more exposed to his sun lamp, the heat lamp. Now that it's off, I can show you what it looks like. This is his heat lamp. It has UVA and UVB rays that come through it. It basically is a sun lamp, and he enjoys it because it helps him to get his vitamin D3. We have this tank and this tank inside of the lizard tank. There are 2 shrimp tanks inside of the lizard tank. Again, 2 closed system shrimp tanks inside of the lizard tank. In order to feed the shrimp, I have to alternate the jars so that the water becomes green or slightly green, so that everybody has something to eat. They have trumpet snails, scuds, which are basically a type of micro shrimp. Well, you can see it, but they call them micros rather than nanos, because nanos are like larger than that. Sea shrimp, which are not sea shrimp, but crustaceans. And the lizard that thinks he's people. This is an extension of him thinking he's people. He has to have these little tanks, the miniature moss ball jars, his toys, his crystal food dish, his pet rock. That's actually the thing that he usually sits on and his upper body on to eat. All of his emoji pillows and blankets and his sign, "The boss will see you now." And all of his little artwork. Including the sun Mommy put up there with the arrow pointing towards him on his bridge. His little heart. He believes he's people. Anyways, and this Utopia sign that keeps getting in the way with the emoji sticker. And that's like a little picture of fish. Well, we're signing off, and I am very sorry about the low voice. It happens to be 1:32 in the morning right now, and I am trying to keep my voice down because people are sleeping. Needless to say, I don't sleep much.